Winning the FIFA World Cup is every footballer's ultimate dream, and throughout history, we've seen icons like Pelé, Maradona, Zidane, and Messi lift football's most prestigious trophy. But not everyone was that lucky. Some reached the final, some carried entire nations on their shoulders, but despite all their greatness, none of them ever got to lift the World Cup. So today, we're counting down 7 football legends who never won the World Cup. Let's start. Number 1. Luka Modrić. Luka Modrić has won almost everything football has to offer. Multiple Champions League titles, a Ballon d'Or, countless trophies with Real Madrid, and the respect of football fans all around the world. But there is one trophy missing from his incredible career: the FIFA World Cup. Before the 2018 tournament, very few people expected Croatia to go far. Yet, Modrić inspired his country on an unforgettable run, defeating teams like Denmark, Russia, and England to reach their first ever World Cup final. His performances were so incredible that he won the Golden Ball as the tournament's best player. But standing between Croatia and history was France. Despite Modrić giving everything for his country, Croatia lost 4-2, ending one of the greatest underdog stories football has ever seen. He returned again in 2022, leading Croatia to a third place finish, proving that 2018 wasn't a miracle. Even after all these years, Modrić remains one of the greatest midfielders in history, but sadly, the World Cup trophy is the one prize that always escaped him. Number 2. Neymar Jr. For over a decade, Neymar carried the hopes of an entire nation. Brazil is the most successful country in World Cup history, and many believed Neymar would be the man to bring home their 6th title. In 2014, playing in front of his home fans, he was having a fantastic tournament before a disaster struck. A brutal challenge from Colombia's Juan Zuniga fractured his back, ending his World Cup just before the semi-finals. Without Neymar, Brazil suffered one of the biggest humiliations in football history, losing 7-1 against Germany. 4 years later in Russia, Brazil were among the favorites again. Neymar scored important goals, but Belgium knocked them out in the quarterfinals. Then came Qatar in 2022, but Brazil got eliminated on penalties against Croatia. And finally in 2026, despite scoring a penalty, Neymar failed to carry Brazil onto the biggest stage. So it was another heartbreaking ending for one of Brazil's most talented players ever. Number 3. Johan Cruyff. Some players win trophies, others change football forever, but Johan Cruyff did both, except when it came to win the World Cup. The Dutch legend was the leader of the famous total football revolution, a style that completely transformed the game. At the 1974 World Cup, the Netherlands played some of the most beautiful football ever seen. Cruyff was simply unstoppable. His vision, technique and intelligence made him the best player in the tournament. And in the 1974 World Cup final, Cruyff and the Netherlands took an early lead on West Germany. But Germany came back to win 2-1, denying Cruyff the trophy many believed he deserved the most. But before we continue, if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel and it's completely free. Let's continue. Number 4. Zlatan Ibrahimović. Few players have entertained football fans like Zlatan Ibrahimović. His outrageous goals, unbelievable confidence, and his unique personality made him one of football's biggest icons. But unlike many players on this list, Zlatan never even came close to winning the World Cup. Cause yeah, representing Sweden meant opportunities were limited. Although he produced unforgettable moments throughout his international career, Sweden simply didn't have enough quality to compete against the world's biggest football nations. In fact, they missed qualification in both 2010 and 2014. While Zlatan had already retired from international football before Sweden surprisingly reached the quarterfinals in 2018. Sometimes individual brilliance isn't enough. And despite scoring over 60 goals for his country, Zlatan's World Cup dream was never fulfilled. Number 5. Cristiano Ronaldo. CR7 has broken almost every record imaginable. Most international goals, 5 Ballon d'Ors, multiple Champions League titles, and league trophies in England, Spain, Italy, and even in Saudi Arabia. Yet, somehow, football's greatest prize has always remained out of reach. Ronaldo has played in 6 different World Cups, becoming the first player to score in 6 editions of the tournament. But Portugal always fell short. In 2006, They reached the semi-finals before losing to France. In 2018, Uruguay eliminated them in the round of 16. And in 2022, Morocco shocked the world by knocking Portugal out in the quarterfinals. The image of Cristiano Ronaldo walking off the pitch in tears became one of the most emotional moments in World Cup history. For many, he's one of the greatest players football has ever seen. But the World Cup is the one trophy missing from his incredible legacy. Number 6. Paolo Maldini. When people talk about the greatest defenders of all time, Paolo Maldini's name is always near the top. He won almost everything with AC Milan, but the World Cup always escaped him. His closest chance came in 1994, when Italy reached the final against Brazil. After a goalless 120 minutes, the match went to penalties, where Brazil came out on top. 12 years later, Italy finally became world champion in 2006. But by then, Maldini had already retired from international football. Sometimes, football is simply unfair. Number 7. Oliver Kahn. And finally, Oliver Kahn. And at the 2002 World Cup, the German keeper was just unbeatable. His incredible saves carried Germany all the way to the final, earning him the golden ball as the tournament's best player. But in the final against Brazil, one costly mistake allowed Ronaldo to score, before adding a second to seal a 2-0 victory. Just like that, Kahn's dream of lifting the World Cup was over. Despite being one of the greatest goalkeepers in football history, his dream of becoming a world champion never came true. So there you have it, 7 football legends who never won the World Cup. From Modric's incredible underdog story, to Ronaldo's tears and Oliver Kahn's heartbreaking mistake, each of these players comes so close to win the World Cup. Now, it's your turn. Who do you think deserved to win the World Cup the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another football video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!